Oops, you guys should have been hearing music for the past 7 minutes. What's up, Sapity? I appreciate the heads up there. 20 seconds before launch. But I hope you guys enjoyed a little quiet time. Here we go. What's going on, guys? So I will be hanging out with you guys for I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour or so. It's a little relaxing, laid back evening, 7:50 p.m. Live stream, Star Wars chat, whatever you want to call it. How's everybody doing? Welcome, guys. So little 4-month update has kind of, or little, I'm rusty, man. Forgive me. A little 4-month break from the channel ended about a week or two ago. I uploaded a little short, simple video about my thoughts on the Andor trailer, and then I did 2 streams, and I'm ramping it back up. I needed those 4 months to focus on career stuff. A lot of you guys know what I'm doing the past couple of years, but I need to focus on something in particular. So yeah, as the thumbnail suggests, there is a new to me. I guess it popped up with the Andor trailer about a week ago or so. People are complaining about a certain firearm, a certain blaster, potentially a slug thrower in the Star Wars universe. I think weapons that fire like bullets instead of blaster, lasers and stuff like that, are called slug throwers. So maybe that's what this is, but it's an AK. And Star Wars has a long history, as most of you probably know. We're all Star Wars fans, right? But it's like the history of Star Wars using real-world weapons is so deep. It goes from the Sterling submachine gun that was the Stormtroopers E11. It's literally the same gun with a couple modifications, like a little scope and stuff like that on it. And it goes all the way to something like the Sand Troopers, I guess like an ammo pack. It was like a magazine pouch for an MP40, German like magazine pouch for their submachine gun. So like there's a rich history of real world weapons being used in Star Wars. And when this trailer popped up, a lot of people kind of noticed a specific type of weapon in the trailer that somebody was holding, and it's an AK variant. And people were like, "What are they doing? There's this gun in the Star Wars universe." And my first thought when I saw those complaints was, well, Han Solo's DL-44 is literally a modified German Mauser. The E11 is a modified Sterling submachine gun. The DLT-19 heavy blaster that, like, when Han and Luke are dressed up as stormtroopers in the Death Star, one of them's carrying a DLT-19 heavy blaster, and it's literally just an unmodified. It's literally just the gun. It's an MG-34, a German MG-34. There's no modifications to it. The guy's walking around with a German machine gun. It goes further than that. And my favorite gun, my favorite blaster in Battlefield 2 is the A280. That blaster rifle is built directly off a German STG-44. And it goes further than that. The T-21 that you probably saw, when was that? The Sand Troopers carry the T-21, correct? That's built off of a British Lewis gun. So like, and shit, Qui-Gon Jinn's comlink is a Gillette women's razor. Wilro Hood is running around with a goddamn ice cream maker. So it goes pretty deep. The history of real world weapons being repurposed and modified, or sometimes not at all modified, as is the case with like the DLT-19 and stuff like that, in the Star Wars films. So yeah, like when I saw those complaints, I wondered if people knew that most of maybe their favorite blasters were actually real world weapons with a couple greeblies on them. But yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's funny to me, man. It's funny to me. Anyway, and you guys know me. Oh, first of all, Christian, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I apologize. I'm long-winded in this little intro here. We're gonna talk about this for a little while. Give me one sec there, Christian. But yeah, you guys know me. I love bitching and moaning about things I don't like in Star Wars and making fun of things I don't like in Star Wars. You know, but this is an example of like, why are you complaining about this shit, man? There's a long history of this being the case in Star Wars, real world weapons, and I don't know if it's, you know, maybe somebody in 1977 who sat down to watch Star Wars in the theater was like a World War II veteran, and maybe they went, hey, why is that sand trooper walking around with why is that guy in white armor walking around with a T-20 or a British Lewis gun? I saw those overseas. Why he's just carrying a British Lewis gun? You know, maybe, I don't know. We all know what an AK looks like, so people notice that right off the bat, maybe. I don't know. It's not like it's a contemporary weapon either. I think I believe it was, Kalashnikov was made in the late 30s? Maybe early 40s? Let me look this up. Let's see. I'll just type that. I didn't think it would... 1948. Okay. 1948. So, anyway. What's going on, guys? Cheers. Christian says, I want to thank you for introducing me to Pine Grove. Hell yes, dude. I listened... I drove about 2 hours with my daughter today to a destination and back, and all we listened to, Christian, was Pine Grove. Fuck yeah, man. Christian says, I want to thank you for introducing me to Pine Grove a year or two ago. Just saw them in St. Louis 2 weeks ago, and they had good openers, and their set was over an hour long. Hell yeah, man. I first started listening to Pine Grove, I don't know, it might have been like 5 years ago or so. My buddies and I go on a yearly, well, it hasn't happened in about a year. It's not going to happen this year. We all have kids, and a couple of my buddies just had their second kid. So, but it's like almost a 20-year tradition where we go and rent a cabin every year. We take a road trip and we rent a cabin for like 4 days, and we're always listening to music and drinking beer and stuff like that. And about 5 years ago, we were on one of these road trips, and my buddy started playing Old Friends by Pine Grove, and I was like, who is this? And he said Pine Grove, and I was instantly hooked. And it just one of my favorite bands in the past decade that I've discovered, and I've been hooked ever since, man. So I'm glad you enjoy them. Every album is solid. I love their vibe. That sounded so douchey to say. I love their vibe. Get a sweater on that says vibe. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan. Anyway, I'm glad you dig them. Other bands that I've been into recently, there's one called Slaughter Beach Dog. My favorite song of theirs, if you want a good kind of introduction to them, is called Modern Lay. Yeah, Christian, you might dig them too. You might already know them, but yeah, Christian, Slaughter Beach Dog, Modern Lay. Give that a listen to. I think you'll enjoy it too. What else have I been listening to a lot lately? I always go back to like Algernon Codwaddler. I love them. Their self-titled album. I have you might have seen it. Oh, in my latest video, in my Andor video, I was wearing an Algernon shirt. That album is fantastic. It's not everybody's cup of tea. My wife describes it as chaos. I would agree with that, but I love stuff like that. Things like Captain Jazz and Giraffes, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed them, Christian. Yeah, check out Slaughter Beach Dog. It's good shit. Talking music on this Star Wars fans live stream. Cheers, man. Brushvik, thank you so much. Oh, one sec.
Found the channel a few years back. I really appreciate you adding positivity to the fandom. I think many folks around our age went through similar evolution with prequels, sequels, canon, etc.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat, Brushvik. But how old are you? Type it out in the chat. I'm just curious. I'm 36, if you guys didn't know. But Breshvik, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this evening. Breshvik says, "Hi HG, found the channel a few years back. I really appreciate you adding positivity to the fandom. I think many folks around our age went through similar evolution with prequels, sequels, canon, etc." You were born in 1984. Nice, so you're 38. Sweet, little older, but we're of the same generation, probably of the same headspace when it comes to Star Wars. But yeah, man, it's really interesting. I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again. It bears repeating, and I think it's important to say. I started this channel in 2011, 11 years ago. And when I started the channel, it was impossible to find a positive prequel comment in my comments, and I mean, it was overwhelmingly negative. And I obviously added to that. I'm not a fan of those movies, I was right in there with all the comments. I was like, yeah, I agree with all this. And I still agree to it, but here's the difference. Through the past 11 years, I have seen this wave of kids who grew up with those movies, who did not have a voice on the internet at the time, and were probably too young to go into like Titan Comics, where I went to buy comics and hear all the nerds bitch and moan about those movies. It was on, constant. They were too young to go and participate in that conversation or even hear that conversation. So, those younger kids, they grew up with those movies, and now they have a voice on the internet. So, like in the past 11 years, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, this evolution of the perception of those movies. When it comes to percentages, I would say, like, vocal percentages. In the past, it was just overwhelmingly the majority percent was negative, and now I would say that it's I don't know if it's all positive. Maybe it's just the circles that I or other people run in, but it's definitely less than it was. It's really interesting, and I think that's just going to be the ebb and flow, the evolution, the tugging and pulling of future Star Wars content, future Star Wars fandom. That's just how it's going to be. The current generation of fans, stuck in their ways, love love the stuff that came before, not gonna like the stuff that comes next, maybe sequel fans right now, the kids who are like 10 years old loving the sequels. When they grow up, there's gonna be a new generation of Star Wars stuff, and maybe they're not gonna like that. You know what I mean? It's just, kids these days, right? It's that dipshit attitude. But hey, you like what you like, right? But anyway, cheers, man. It's really interesting. It's really, I'm glad I was able to witness this 11-year, shift. Strange. It's strange, but I would also like to think that it's, for me personally, I'm not the same dude that I was in 2011, Oh, one sec.
Anyway, what unnecessary cameo in an upcoming show would send you over the edge? Like Sugar's Cad Bane, but what is that some bitch doing here?
What's up, Vince? Good to see you, man. And Way Fez and Carter, thank you all so much. One sec. What was I saying? Oh, I forgot what I was saying. The wave of people. But I would also like to think that, I'm not the same dude that I was in 2011 when I started this channel. It was 11 years ago. Your edges round. It's only natural. Like, it's kind of interesting to me that people bring up things that I said in 2011, and a lot of it was in jest. I was being goofy. I was trying to be angry video game nerd, but whatever. I still said it and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't respond, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, it was 11 years ago. I was 25. I just got out of the military. Like, I'm a very different person now. Like, yeah, okay, I might have said that in 2011, and you're bringing it up in 2022. Like I said it yesterday. I guess that's what happens when you put stuff online, huh? It's forever cemented as you, which I get. Anyway, That's what happens. Hopefully we all kind of change, right? Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much, man. Cheers. Carter says, glad to see you're back. How's it going? Also, it's my birthday on Friday, and I'll be turning 22. Hell yeah, man. I'll be working Friday. I'll be working like the next 3 shifts in a row, man. Picking up that firefighter overtime. Gonna be at a station for 72 hours. Cheers. But yeah, Carter, that's awesome. If everybody could do me a big favor in the chat and say happy birthday, Carter, because I'm not going to have an opportunity to do that on Friday. But cheers, Carter. Hell, everything's going really well, man. Everything's going really well. Yeah, life's going good. Career's going good. I should have started this years ago, but I'm really glad that I did. Past 2 years have been all towards this goal, and it has paid off, and it is fun, and it is exciting. You know, you get every day is wildly different than the next. You know, I mean, crazy shit. You see some crazy shit. But I have a really good crew, and I love it. I love this job. So anyway, cheers, Carter. Family's doing well as well. But yeah, man. Happy birthday, man. Make it a fun one. What are your plans? I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat, Carter. What are your plans? Hell yeah, your birthday falls on a Friday. When does my birthday fall on? Let's see. Next year. Next year, my birthday falls on a Tuesday. But maybe I'll be off work, because I work 24 on, 48 off, so you never know. Every day that I work is basically a Friday. It's kind of cool. In the fire department, you work 24 on, 48 off, and when you get off shift, you have 2 days off, and it kind of rules. I love it. Anyway. No, I have not seen the ILM doc yet, Thiago. I'll watch it soon, for sure. Oh, Wayfez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Wayfez says, HG server made a wiki. You should do a live reading. Well, a wiki of what, Wayfez? Of the server? A fandom wiki. Of HelloGreedo? Of the of the Discord server. I need to find this. I'm doing searches. I hate like searching around. I don't like searching for HelloGreedo anything. Like it's just you just see people bitching and moaning. It's hilarious. You should also pop in and say poop and Cantina Tale since the last poop message is long gone. All right. Post Wayfez, post that in the admin chat and I'll check that out for sure. That's no Discord, it's a Wikipedia. Nice. Yeah, post that up in the or post it in the chat here. I think you have that ability, right, Wayfez? I think you can post links since you're a mod. I believe so. Yeah, tell everybody I said what's up, man. Hopefully my daughter's starting school soon, so I figure I'll do more like day streams here and there, and you know, might even start playing like Battlefront with like Discord folks again and streaming that, you know. It'd be nice. You know, she'll be in school and then I'll get home at like 8 in the morning after a shift, and then I'll have 2 straight days to basically work on Greedo stuff, and it'll be a good time. Anyway, cheers, man. And Mr. Vince, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Vince says IG-11 is just a modified IG-88. There you go. Anyway, what unnecessary... oh, yeah, and C-3PO is built by Darth Vader. Anyway, what unnecessary cameo in an upcoming show would send you over the edge? Ooh, oh, man. Like, sure, there's Cad Bane, but what is that sumbitch doing here? What unnecessary cameo in an upcoming show would send you over the edge? It's really hard for me to think what one would be. Like, the one that like comes to mind, I know this isn't answering your question, but it's a good example. One that comes to mind is in Rogue One with Dr. Evazan, right? The You'll Be Dead guy was there, and like that to me, that to me is like, I don't like that kind of stuff. I know it gets audiences like pointing and clapping and loving it, and some Star Wars fans just eat that shit up. I'm the complete polar opposite of that. When I see that kind of stuff just kind of shoved into a movie or a show, it like turns me off to it. It just feels cheap, you know? It feels cheap. And the more that happens, the more cheap it feels. It feels like a little trick. So it takes me out of it. Like, yeah, I don't know. That kind of stuff does nothing for me. It's a detraction, in my opinion. That's why I love the first season of The Mandalorian so much. The second season, I enjoyed it too, but it kind of started to, like, turning me off a little bit when just cameo after cameo after cameo. And it all makes sense story-wise, and I get it and stuff like that. But, you know, I want new. I'm the I want new guy, you know? But I really don't know. What would be like a shoehorned cameo that would send me over the edge? There's really nothing worth, like, no better example than that Rogue One example that I just said that I can come up with. Golly, I don't even know. Yeah, I would be completely fine and actually appreciate and love it if everything future Star Wars focused on like never showed a familiar face again, you know. But that's just me. You guys come up with some idea. What is a dumb cameo? Like, use your imagination. That has not happened yet. A dumb cameo in an upcoming show that would send you over the edge. That would make you roll your eyes. I want to hear what you guys come up with. Because it's hard for me to think of one. A potential one. I need to play some Battlefront, man. Not tonight, but maybe next time I stream. Oops. Damn, I keep hitting the wrong button. Alright, there we go. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Good to see you, man. Oscar says, this is one of 2 Star Wars channels that I actually tune into. Even if we differ in opinions, the energy and people here are awesome. I also like Star Wars Story. Nice! Well, that means a lot, Oscar. It's good to see you around as well. You've been around the channel forever. So yeah, we have fun here. You know the feel of these live streams. You know that we don't take anything serious here. You know how it is around here. We just have fun. We shoot the shit. And as you said, if we differ in opinions, who cares? Like, that's I'm too old to care what people think about Star Wars and have a debate about it with them. Like, I'm 36. I got a career. Like, why am I gonna? I'm gonna make videos and tell you what I think, but like, I'm not gonna get on the internet and debate people. I can't think of a bigger waste of time. I mean, people make money doing that, but I have no desire. But cheers, man. That means a lot. I'm sure I haven't kept up with the fandom or anything like that, and I'm sure Alex and Molly of Star Wars Explained are still super active. But again, I haven't paid attention to any channels in the past 4, 5, 6 months. I'm sure I'll get back into it in the not too distant future. But yeah, man. Cheers, Oscar. I appreciate that. And Vince, once again, thank you so much. Got to take off drinking for a while, so I don't need this beer money. LOL. Have a good one. Well, right now I'm drinking a local brew, Vince. It's a Veterans United, which is a local brew. I love stopping into the brewery. It's owned by veterans, and when you walk in, it's all just like squadron patches and pictures of people's deployments and stuff like that. It's a cool brewery, and they can stuff too. So I'm drinking a Veterans United Scout Dog, which is an amber ale. It's delicious. But yeah, man, it's nice always to take a little break, right? I appreciate the beer fund. I'm working 3 days in a row. So my next day off will be Sunday. So yeah, getting that overtime, man. Getting that firefighter overtime. It's kind of awesome. Schedule rules. But yeah, take all the time you need. Oh, I put Sorensen sauce on our homemade tacos tonight, our carne asada tacos, and it was awesome. Sour cream and Sorensen sauce, that Dattel pepper sauce, mixes splendidly. You should try it sometime if you already haven't. But anyway, cheers, man. Zanu Mandu, thank you so much. Oh, Zana Mandu, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. You said, would you call yourself a Led Zeppelin fan? Not necessarily. I never really got into them. I don't honestly know that much about Zeppelin. For whatever reason, it was... I think, like, growing up, I don't think my dad really listened to much Zeppelin. And growing up, I listened to a lot of Beatles and Steely Dan and Bob Seger and a shitload of Motown. And that kind of stuff. Yeah, and for whatever reason, Zeppelin never really crossed my radar growing up. Like, here's a good example. So, and I know they're kind of two generations, but maybe, oops, one sec. Yeah, so, yeah, I just never listened to them growing up, and I never really, never really listened to them on my own. Obviously we've all heard the songs, but never got into them. I guess it's a little weird, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why I didn't. I think, up until a certain point, I don't know, when you turn, let's just say 13 years old, you just start listening to your own stuff. When I turned 13, earlier than that, one of my first records was a Nirvana record and a Green Day record. So you just transfer from what your parents listened to what you're now into. And then I started getting into, like bands like American Football and Taking Back Sunday when I was in high school and shit like that, and all that kind of stuff kind of went by the wayside. And then as I got older, I started getting into back into like what my dad listened to. I love listening to Motown. Like every night when we sit down to eat dinner, I'll be like, Alexa, play Motown, and maybe some of your Alexas just started playing Motown. Little Gladys Knight and the Pips for you. But yeah, it's interesting. It's also interesting, like, so my dad is 72. He's going to be 72 next year. And so I grew up, he grew up in Detroit, and my wife's dad is like late 50s, mid 50s, late 50s, something like that. So he's younger. So like I grew up with Motown and Seeger and the Beatles and all sorts of, older Dave Dudley, Hank Sr., a bunch of that kind of older stuff. And then my wife's dad listened to like Van Halen, which I don't fucking care. I don't, that Van Halen does nothing for me. Journey, like that 80s stuff, like does nothing for me. I don't like it, but that's what she grew up listening to. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Anyway, I would say I'm not Xana, but I can appreciate it, right? Anyway, what's up, Eli? Good to see you, man. Evan Griffin says, I love the music you use in streams. So relaxing, and you've got a perfect voice to listen to. Just talk about random stuff. Love the channel fire. Thank you. That means a lot, man. I really appreciate that. That's what, I'm kind of aiming for, a relaxing conversation, a relaxing environment with some fun background music as we fly in my Subaru Crosstrek from the Milky Way galaxy to the Andromeda galaxy. Little laid back tunes, a little random bullshit conversation. That's what makes it fun. Like I always or often pick a topic of conversation, but you guys know how these live streams go. We ebb and flow all over the place. From one second we're talking about Star Wars, the next second we're talking about your favorite barbecue sauce. But cheers, Evan. I really appreciate the kind words there, and I'm glad you enjoy it, man. There was like a few months there where I was taking these live streams and uploading them on Anchor as a podcast. But maybe I'll start doing that again. Maybe. Anyway, cheers, man. I appreciate that. And AGR89, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the silent support there. I don't know if you meant to type a little message or if you wanted to be a silent supporter, but I appreciate it all the same. Cheers, man. Oh, I just see your message right now. AGR says, just saw the second episode of the ILM documentary. That crew had a lot of passion for the work they've done on A New Hope. Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm going to eventually watch it. But I need to find the time to watch it. That's the biggest hurdle, is finding the time. Like, me and my wife have a list of shows and movies that we want to watch, and kind of squeezing a documentary in there that, let's face it, is more geared towards what I want to watch. I don't really have any time to myself to watch things, she'd watch it with me, but like, we have our shows and I enjoy watching something that we both want to watch, so eventually I'll get around to watch. I can't wait. Oh, one sec.
Long time fan. Last I tuned in, I was in UCT prepping for a flight. Now winged, headed to the B-52 buff. Always found your content to be down to earth. Keep making the better place.
B-52 buff. Lucas Johnson, thank you so much for the super kind words there. I appreciate that. Give me one sec. Yeah, AGR, I can't wait to watch it. You know, I think we all know the history of the production of A New Hope and how it all kickstarted and stuff like that. But from what I've heard, this documentary really dives into, maybe I'm wrong, but like the individual, like the, as you said, the passion, the dedication of kickstarting all that, and kind of, finding new ways to make movies, basically. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Anyway, I appreciate that. I don't know, when I watch it, you guys will know, because I'll probably do a live stream talking about it. Anyway. And Lucas Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat and the kind words here. Lucas says, glad you're back. Longtime fan. Last I tuned in, I was in UCT prepping for a flight. Now I'm winged, headed to the B-52 buff. Always found your content to be down to earth. Keep making YouTube a better place. Hell yeah, man. That's super exciting. But is it? Those are big ass planes. What's crazy to me is that, well, first of all, congratulations. That's dedication unto itself, rather. And hell yeah. I'm curious about your experience. So if you want to answer in the chat or just want to tell me what you're up to specifically, I'd love to know. But I'm assuming you're Air Force. I'm assuming. But yeah, what's crazy to me, Lucas, and so when I was in the Navy, we flew SH-60 Bravo Seahawks. We flew Seahawk helicopters, and the Seahawk in particular that I worked on was, I believe, built in 1985. So the damn thing was like, I think a lot of people have a misconception that everything in the military is like new, state of the art, kicking ass, flying around. No, we're flying in ancient shit. And what's funny to me is a B-52 was introduced in like the 50s, and they're still in operation. It's crazy to me. Same thing with my ship. The ship that I deployed on down to South America was commissioned in, I believe, 1983. Let me look this up. 1982. It launched in 1982. So, like, my ship was pretty old. My helicopter was pretty old. But, yeah, it's interesting, man. Flying old shit, sailing old shit. Again, I think a lot of people have a misconception. Like, for the military's budget being as much as it is, I think people think that we're flying around in, like, science fiction aircraft. But, yeah, anyway. Cheers, Lucas. Congratulations. That's awesome, and I appreciate the kind words and generous super chat and channel support this evening, man. And Oscar Rodriguez, thank you as well. I feel accomplished. My story is coming along. That is such a good feeling when you're working on something, when you start putting something together and you feel it. You feel it starting to click. You feel like what you're working on has a path. You almost get into a state of tunnel vision. You know what I mean? You feel like if you you don't want to take a break, you don't want to step away, you'll lose that flow. You know what I mean? So that's exciting, Oscar. So your story is coming along. That's a good start, and that's a good headspace to be in. That'll allow you that positivity there, that feeling that things are clicking will go a long way for sure. But hell yeah, Oscar. Cheers, man. I appreciate that. Arlen, to be fair, those ships are super. Oh yeah. Oh, of course. They're extremely expensive, outrageously expensive. Like, also, here's a funny little thing if you want to know about kind of military contracts, the military-industrial complex, all that kind of stuff. When I was deployed, we had a FLIR, a forward-looking infrared camera, basically, thermal, and an audio-video cable for that was like $7,000.
Been watching
oh, one sec.
Since about 2016. Any chance you can do another series of Inside Star Wars? Loved your Attack of the Clones one. Cheers.
Cheers, Brandon. Give me one sec. Yeah, so like basically a regular old audio video cable for a FLIR was like $7,000. Something that you could pick up at Radio Shack for a couple bucks. So, yeah, things are outrageously expensive. And and like you see that kind of stuff and you're like, who the fuck is approving these contracts? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's creepy, but anyway. Yeah, another thing that was weird to me when I went to boot camp, like, who do you think cooks the meals and serves the meals in boot camp? A lot of people who weren't in probably think that it was, fellow recruits, maybe doing kitchen duty or something like that. No. In boot camp, it was all contracted. It was all basically like lunch ladies. Stuff like so like everything is contracted. It's really interesting. It's weird, man. Anyway, Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I appreciate that, man. Brandon says, "Hey, Greedo. Been watching since about 2016. Any chance you can do another series of Inside Star Wars? Loved your Attack of the Clones one. Cheers." I have always wanted to kickstart that series back into action. I actually made, and probably none of you saw it. I'd be very surprised if any of you guys saw it. I made a Inside Star Wars The Force Awakens video. And within about 24 hours, it got taken down. It got deleted, or it got completely taken down because of copyright infringement. And, by that time, I made that in like 2016, maybe, when the Blu-ray came out. And I was being safe. I knew not to put like copywritten music on there and stuff like that, but for whatever reason, it still got struck down. I don't know if it was just because it was a brand new Blu-ray release, and maybe if I uploaded it now, it wouldn't get taken down. But yeah, like barely no one. Probably again. Okay, AGR saw it, but yeah, it's just kind of lost. I don't even know if I still have the file, to tell you the truth, on my computer. But yeah, Brandon. The Inside Star Wars video that I've always wanted to make, and maybe I'll do it this year, is Inside Star Wars The Holiday Special. I have always wanted to make that video because it's just ripe for the picking when it comes to making fun of stuff and being goofy. Yeah, I think Inside Star Wars The Holiday Special would be a fun one to make, because it would also be fun because, like, nobody really likes it. It's just a dumb thing. So kind of making fun of it, you're not going to get a bunch of dipshits taking things too serious. You know what I mean? Oh, the original Holiday Special. Yeah, from 78 or whatever it was. I think it was 78. But yeah, Brandon, maybe eventually down the road I'll do another one. But yeah, we'll see. Those are always like one of my favorite videos to make, because it took a lot of time and scripting and effects. Yeah, I don't know which video it was. Maybe Revenge of the Sith, where I had a complete gun battle in my house with Jar Jar Binks. that was one of my favorite things to film because it took a little bit of creativity. Trying to figure out how to put two of myself into a scene. Like, everything that you see there is me. I didn't have anybody else there with me, so I had to like kind of split the screen and figure out how to do it, and the gun battle and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Brandon. Maybe I'll do the holiday special this year, finally. That's an idea that I've had for, like, dude, forever. Forever. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Nice. Anyway. So, random question, since I haven't been around these parts in the past 4 or 5 months. Sorry, guys. I was closing out a lot of browsers. Are there any new games that you would recommend? I've been completely out of the loop with everything from movies and games, especially the Star Wars fandom things happening. Like, I didn't even watch anything from Celebration. I still don't really know what was announced, what was shown. It's not because I didn't want to. It's just because I didn't have time. I was, deep into something. New career stuff. And I just wasn't able to. So, like, any new games you would recommend? Or things that are on the horizon that I might not know about? I've never played a Saints Row game, Stuart. Never played one. Apex. Yeah, I couldn't. I played a little bit of Apex when it first came out. I don't know why I couldn't get into. I enjoy those, like, arena shooters or whatever you want to call them. But I prefer them to be more like a PUBG, because I like a little bit more realism. Like, Fortnite does nothing for me. I played it like twice, and as soon as somebody built a building around them when I was shooting at them, I was like, fuck this, I'm out. But yeah, the new Diablo, I'm excited for that. I'll definitely pick that up, AGR, for sure. I did watch a little bit of Diablo footage. And I haven't really played anything. When I had COVID a couple months ago, I basically isolated for 5 days, hoping my wife and my daughter wouldn't get it. But on the 5th day, they tested positive. So that was stupid. They should have just gotten it with me, built up an immunity. Instead, I was thinking, I can kind of lock myself away and they'll be fine. But on the 5th day, they tested positive. So I was like, shit. What a waste of time that was. But I ended up beating Red Dead Redemption 2 in bed. So that's the last game that I played. I got Steam. Come on, Steam. Yeah, Stuart, I honestly think it's my favorite single-player game of all time. Red Dead 2. I love it. Dusk and Amid Evil. Those are two different games? Dusk. Let's see. Dusk. Dread Advocate. Oh, nice. Okay. Dusk. Battle through an onslaught of mystical backwater cultists, possessed militants, and even darker forces as you attempt to discover just what lurks beneath the earth in this retro FPS inspired by the 90s legends. Oh, dude, this looks like a blast, man. This looks like a blast. I'd love to play something like this. I'm gonna add it to my wish list. I appreciate that, man. Oh, I need this game. This looks fun as hell. Dusk. All right, wish list +1. What was the other game you mentioned? Amid Evil. It's in the Evil Dead font, it looks like. Oh, they're both retro FPSs. Once branded as heretic, now you have been chosen as our champion. Reclaim our sacred weapons, take back our ancient lands if you can stand. Amid Evil. Alright. This doesn't look as appealing to me as the other one. This kind of reminds me of Hexen. You remember Hexen? Hexen. Yeah, Dusk looks fun, man. I'll have to pick that up. Check out the entire New Blood interactive franchise on Steam. What is that? New Blood oh, that's the name of the company. They made another one called Ultra Kill. Oh, they made Amid Evil as well. Okay. They made both of these games. Do you work for this company, Dread? Do you work for this company? They all have great reviews and a shitload of purchase and a shitload of reviews too. Wow. Nice. Anyway, I appreciate the recommendation there, man. Hexen is one of its influence. Okay, I can absolutely see that influence. I remember playing Hexen back in the day. What year did that come out? 1995. I was 9 years old. 1995. Nice. Yeah, I remember playing Hexen. I played all those games back in the day. I think we got our first PC in 1993, I want to say. I think it was 92 or 93. Yeah. Oh, Hexen is on Steam? Get out of here. Really? Hexen Beyond Heretic. What? Hexen. Is that the original Hexen? Okay, yeah, it is. Nice. Alright, Dusk, I'll pick it up. I'll pick that up soon. That'd be a fun one to maybe stream even. Oh, it's got like heavy metal music too. Oh, I'm into this, man. I appreciate the recommendation. I need a game like this. Hell yeah. Anyway. Alright, guys. That's it for me. We win an hour. Solid. So, yep, like I said, I work the next 3 shifts, 72 hours at the station. I will not see you guys for, yeah, probably not till Monday. Probably won't do a stream or anything until Monday, so. That's it for me. All right, guys. Cool. God, I'm tired, and I'm rusty when it comes to all this stuff. That 4-month break kind of killed my flow, but I'm getting back into it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, talking Star Wars, but mostly talking everything else. I'll probably do a live stream on Monday. Maybe I'll play Shadows of the Empire. You know, I haven't played that in a while. That'd be a good time. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. If you super chatted tonight, I appreciate the channel support. If you just hung out in the chat, thanks for hanging out in the chat, man. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.